everybody, so here I am going to put this in here. I'm at my gig today and we shall see what happens. It's turning out to be a nice day. And a little chilly this morning, but it was nice. It was refreshing. So here comes the girls. This is a church yard sale in Schwenksville. And come on, girls, let me just tell you. Let me just tell you a few things. Did you get to see this thing? The quiz?
I saw that, yeah.
Isn't that cool? Somebody did that. I think she lives in California and got it offline. But, I mean, it's true. I mean, what makes more sense? So, yeah, no matter how high you go, horizon is always at your eye level. Because the horizon is how we see at a distance. It's called perspective. Did you ever hear of the vanishing point? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you have railroad tracks, you know they continue, mm-hmm. but you can't see them. They go to the vanishing point. Yeah. Okay, our eyeballs are round in there, you know that? So it kind of focuses in. So when it's just two planes of existence, we have the sky and the ocean, then it's a vanishing line. They don't come to a point like a four-sided thing. So that's why you see ships go over the curve, because they're going into the vanishing line. If there's a curve, a ball, a globe, if you go out, it has to drop at some point, right?
No.
Yeah, you're standing here. Where are we? Right here. So if you're looking out, it has to go down. Going out, it has to go down.
Ooh, it goes over the curve.
This is what I'm saying. If there's a globe, then if it goes out, it has to go down. That's a globe. That's a curve. So you're correct in saying if it's a globe, there has to be curvature. That's right. Mm-hmm. So when the equator is 24,901 miles, this is the equation for the equator for the globe. 8 inches times a mile squared. So here we have Chicago. You can see that. We zoomed in on it with a high-powered camera zoom. And that's 60 miles of Lake Michigan. Don't believe anything I'm saying. You got to look it up. This should be hidden under 2,400 feet of curve down. It should be down. That's like a 240-story building, right? But there it is. It's like right there. It's not down. We can see it. And we have a guy who went in a speedboat for 2 hours and he held his camera on it. It didn't change. There's no kind of refraction or magic going on there. Here's Caprea, 6,936 feet. That should be down. This is only like a couple hundred feet high. And we can see it 102 miles away. We can see too far. That's the problem here. We can see way too far. And here's the other reason, an experiment that you can test yourself. This is reality when you get a line on the water. Okay, that's the reality. If it's a flat surface, you get that line. Look, this flat surface goes right onto the flat table. That table's not curved. And you get that line of reflection. Okay, but if it's a curve, you would get just a spot. And you can test that at home. You take something shiny white piece of paper, hold it up to a light bulb, and you can see that yourself, and then do the flat. Test it yourself. I've done all these experiments myself. That's how I know. So here's the best map we have. North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. We don't know what's beyond that. because the Antarctic Treaty from 1959 prevents any exploration past the 60th parallel, which is the 60th latitude. We can't go beyond that. They are guarding it militarily. They have all sorts of electronics, and they know who goes close, and they don't allow it. Even the flights, if you're on a flight, it doesn't go, like if on a ball, it's real easy to see. It's from Cape Horn to South Africa. They should go like that. They don't. It goes like this, which means it goes north of the equator and then south. All these things, this is all you have to look up these things. You can take this home with you. You can think about it. So Captain Cook in 1755 logged 60,000 miles. So he went around Antarctica looking at the shoreline the whole time. So they say he got lost in the Pacific. How can you get lost if you got the shoreline right there? You don't. They just lie in our public school textbooks. That's what they're doing. Here's something else the school teaches. This is the model, the heliocentric model. Milky Way's moving, and the sun's moving, and all the planets are orbiting, catching up, trying to keep up with the sun, that kind of thing. This is reality. Polaris in the center. You leave your aperture of your camera open, you get star trails. And that has been that way forever. So I reject that model because you would never get that out of that. That's my decision, and I reject that model. Okay, so you have to decide. Here's heliocentric, here's flat Earth geocentric. But it's not geo because geo is like a sphere. So it's just flat Earth centric. Flat Earth is actually the center of the known universe. Everything is a lot closer and small. That sun, not 93 million miles away. It's very close. I think it could be even 10 miles. But it's that small. And it's not hot burning gases either. You think, oh, well, we'll burn up. No. It's more like a filament. There's free-flowing electricity. You know anything about torus fields? Okay. Well, if you study Tesla, Nikola Tesla, you've heard of him. Okay. Well, he's a scientist that they destroyed because he told the truth. See? But we actually live inside a torus field. The electricity comes up out of the North Pole, and that's why you get the aurora borealis. Then it comes up and around. And instead of gravity pulling to the center of a ball, the diamagnetism is what's holding us down onto the land. So that's just something, you think we can't answer questions, but we've studied this. I've done a personal study for 2 years. So I'm on my 3rd year doing this, and I'm out teaching it because the schools are censoring all these books. You can get any one of these books, and they'll tell you stuff I'm telling you. And on this website, here, the flatearth101.com, there's some videos on there, and it'll give you everything I have on the banners. So you'll see the pictures again, and it'll give you a little bit more. There's actually 200 proofs on that one video. But this is absolutely true, and you've got to decide for yourself what path is your life going to take. You're going to still be spinning around with the heliocentric, or are you going to be feet on the ground? The Bible's true. See, I don't preach the Bible here, though, but I'm in a church thing, and anybody who's believing the Bible, I would show that to them. But I just go for the science, even though I'm a Christian from a long time ago. Long time, you don't want to know how long. There's a lot to this. We have all the experiments, Michelson-Morley, they prove that the Earth's not moving. If the ball is really spinning, how come we don't weigh less at the equator? How come we don't weigh less? I mean, the centrifugal force. You'd think we'd be weighing at least way less than at the pole where it's not spinning at all. If you're at the pole, there's no centrifugal force.
Who says gravity's from spinning?
No, gravity's not from spinning. The centrifugal force is from spinning it. You know the little merry-go-round?
Heavier.
Yeah, because centrifugal force would be pushing us away.
Well, the Earth's not spinning that fast.
How fast do you think it's spinning at the equator? I'll give you a clue. There's 24 hours in a day.
It's probably like 600 miles an hour or so.
You're
When
close.
you factor in the diameter of the Earth.
The diameter is
the centrifugal
24,901.
force isn't that much.
24,901. 24 hours in a day. That's 1,000 miles an hour.
Okay.
1,000 miles an hour. So I would think there would be some centrifugal force. Yeah. Do you know science?
Because the diameter of the Earth is so great that you're not going to feel that centrifugal force.
Well,
If it was that diameter was such a large thing, yes, you would feel that centrifugal force.
it's the radius is about 4,000 miles.
Yeah.
The diameter is about 8,000 miles of the ball. But see, I'm here proving that there is no ball.
How so?
Well,
We just went over this.
that's okay, girls. You know, you can stay or not if you
I
want.
think you can talk all day, but I'm going to believe the Earth's round. So.
Well, see, if you have a closed mind, you'll never find the truth.
Actually, my mind's pretty open. But how do
Actually,
people,
I
how do
can
people
prove that
go
it's
around
not.
the Earth?
How
People have flown around the Earth.
yeah, it's called circumnavigation. They go around. That's going west. This is going east.
Why would they teach us
What
different
about
being
north-south?
school then? If it was flat, why wouldn't they just teach us it's flat? It's
Why
not,
not
a
north-south?
secret. Like if it
Because
was flat,
they've
just
never
tell
done
us
that.
the truth.
Because govern means control. Ment means mind. Mental, meant. Govern, meant. Control the mind. If they can control our thoughts, then they can tell us anything and we'll do what they want.
But there's no reason to hide. If this was true, there was no reason to hide it.
Well, that's because you're not a greedy, selfish warmonger. And this is what we're doing now, is we're into this war thing where we go across into the Middle East and just kill people and get killed. And we take over their resources and they are manipulating. You know, we don't have any more gold. They took it all. See, there's these people, you know, the kings back in previous ages, the kings all interbred. And I think what happened to them is they lost their humanity. They lose part of who they are and they become callous and have no empathy. And that's what makes us human. Okay? So they were so greedy, they wanted to keep their money and power and control. They interbred and now there's something wrong with them. Absolutely. And guess who those people are today? They are in our government. That's what I think. Now you can figure that out for yourself.
How would you know that though? If it's that long ago, you couldn't possibly know that.
If what's that long ago?
If the kings wanting their power and everything, and then it's now in our government.
That's my theory. You wanted to know
It's
why.
just a theory though.
Well, and so is gravity. Gravity's never been proven. I can disprove gravity right now. Very easy. Very easy. Gravity defined is pulling to the center of a ball. That's gravity. So there should be no natural flat places on Earth because the curve is part of that definition. So Bonneville had a great salt lake and it dried up. Now it's the Bonneville Salt Flats. That's 100 miles by 80 miles. And there are Salar de Uyuni down in Bolivia. There's Lake Baikal in Siberia, 400 miles Lake Baikal. The Suez Canal, 100 miles flat. So if there was any curvature to the Bonneville Salt Lake, it would be reflected in the bottom, and it's not there. And you go by the formula, 8 inches times a mile squared, you should be able to find it. I took a P1000 camera down to Wildwood in February. I made a video of Atlantic City, 32.6 miles away. That should be hidden under a 68-story building. I could see it. Shouldn't be there. So we're seeing too far, and there's a lot that can be explained by real science. They don't follow the scientific method anymore. And NASA puts out this garbage. See, that's the United States on both of those. Just 1 year apart. So what's the real one? And they will admit, the guy, Robert Simon, he works for NASA, and he puts these computer images together. Oh yeah, I have to figure out what it looks like, so I'm just putting these things together and giving a representation. CGI, computer-generated image. There is no real picture from outer space. The first one they ever took was a picture through a porthole. And that's just from like a high-flying U-2 plane. We never went to the moon. You can't even land on the moon. We have physicists saying that the moon is plasma. I don't know, I kind of think it's a filament, but who am I to argue with a physicist? You know there's free-flowing electricity, Tesla.
Well, I know there's a lot of conspiracy out there. Not everything.
Well, the conspiracy is this. This is the conspiracy.
It might be, but I don't know.
No, because you have to study it. You have to really look into it. There's 10 things on here. Are you a Bible believer?
Absolutely.
Okay, did you get this by any chance? Did you look at that? Okay, so you can take this home. I have others in the bag. And you can think about these things. I don't expect you to give me an answer, or I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just giving you the information. You have to think about it. You have to pray about it. When I first came to this, I said, "Dear Lord, are you going to catch me if I fall?" I was scared. I was scared because this opens up like, if our government is really lying like this, what will they not lie about? How about this forced vaccinations?
Well, they lie all the time, but I don't know how they can keep a secret like this.
Easy.
How so?
Compartmentalization is one way they do it. And you pay all these scientists.
A lot of resources to put all that together. So, you know,
Well, they own the television.
Somewhere.
They own a television that comes into your home. I watched the moon landing. I'm older than you. And I was convinced. That's the first thing somebody told me. We didn't land on the moon. I'm there. What? You're out of your mind. Of course we did. I saw it on television. No, I looked into it. Nope. There's too many discrepancies.
All these astronauts have gone into space. You're saying they didn't go into space.
Correct.
Where'd they go?
Did you ever see the movie Capricorn 1?
I don't think so.
Somebody told me about that, and I watched it. I'm there. Oh my gosh, that's what they did. They snuck them out of that capsule before it took off, put them in a warehouse, and they told them that bad things would happen to them and their families if they didn't go along with this.
Yeah, but you can only get away with so many threats and things of that.
Well, why do you think it's coming out now? You know there's millions of people around who now are onto this. And it's the internet. Now the internet is there, and the common people have free information. And we went to school and were indoctrinated from very little. From very little, we were indoctrinated to believe in this. We were brainwashed.
I think we've been brainwashed in a lot of ways, but
Well,
I'll have to look into it, though.
the Bible says Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. Okay? Jesus is truth, equal sign. He's truth. So if we love Jesus, we're going to love truth. If we seek Jesus, we're going to seek truth in everything.
I believe in truth. Finding the answers is the truth.
It's
that's
tough.
The challenge.
It's tough. Thanks for
I think
stopping
there's a
by,
lot of
though.
Manipulation, though.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Thanks for stopping. I appreciate you listening.
I don't know if I'm buying into
You don't have to.
but
Just
I will agree with the fact that there is a lot of manipulation and
pray about it,
deceit
though.
and stuff. So
Ask God to reveal the truth to you.
yeah.
And just keep it in your mind, and He will reveal it.
All right.
Thanks for stopping.
I'll read your stuff.
Thank you, dear.
All right.
Mr. Postman,
I gotta keep an eye on two things at one time. That should be down here.
how you doing? I
Good.
teach the flat earth. Did you ever hear about it? You look like you're in a hurry. You can take that with you.
Okay, yeah, now I gotta keep an eye on
There's
the
10
office.
thing in there. You can take it with you, and you can.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So, I think that guy was the youth leader.
I said I'm working on it.
Oh, so you're not crazy. You're talking to somebody on the phone. That happens in the grocery store. People are like talking to themselves and they're on the phone.
I know. I always have to stop and look like,
That's funny. Yeah, so So I guess I'm going to come over here for a little bit. And I wanted to talk to you guys about some things that have happened this week. Now, what's happened this week is 2 videos came out. One was, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to mention names this time because it is pertinent, and I want you to go watch the video. It's on Jeranism channel, and it was Sleeping Warrior, and it was relative density versus force. F equals ma, force equals mass times acceleration. So I want you to watch that video, and I want you to just try and understand what he is saying. Now, I have one huge major problem with that. And you know this gravity thing is a hot button with me. And I'm the only one that teaches the torus field and the alternative to gravity. So, first off, Jeranism says he agrees with Sleeping Warrior. So the verses in the title is really has nothing. It's really just a deception, because there's relative density is not against. You don't choose one or the other. It is not an equivalent. It is not a debate. They are different things. It's apples and oranges. So you cannot have relative density replacing gravity. Now I'm going to tell you something about relative density. Relative density is just another way of saying density and buoyancy. It just eliminates the buoyancy word and replaces it with relative. Because density and buoyancy are just an indicator. They are an indicator of the force that is defining down. Do you understand what I just said? I'm going to say it again. Density and buoyancy, or relative density, is just an indicator of the position of down, the force that defines down. Okay, so relative density is like the oil light on your car. Okay, so if you unplug the oil light, does that mean that you don't need to add any oil? Think about that. So relative density is an indicator. It shows you where down is, but if you get rid of the props that he had on that video, get rid of the props, do you still know where down is? Sure, it's where your feet are. It's walking on the ground. So, in fact, it's the ground itself, because the force is holding everything down, even the ground and the water. Now, I agree with what Sleeping Warrior was said, except for one huge thing, and that is that relative density is not a substitute for gravity. It is not. And gravity, as you all know that I teach, gravity does not exist, because in the definition of gravity, there is the curvature factor, because gravity is supposedly pulling to the center of a ball. Since we do not live on a ball, there cannot be any curvature. Gravity does not exist. So, that's why I teach the torus field and diamagnetism. So if I'm repeating this, that's okay. You need to hear it 3 times before you'll take it seriously. I'm going to address this again tomorrow in my weekly hangout. And just wanted you to think about this. Please watch that video, but take a step back. Don't drink in everything they're saying. Don't trust what they're saying as, yeah, I should just do this. And you got to think. You got to think. So, the other video I wanted to bring up was Zoom Truth. He had a guy on yesterday, which was Friday, the 17th, called Howard George Stirrup from Spain. Now, Howard contacted me, and we are going to be speaking tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, early. So, if you watch this video, it'll probably be up by the time, and we'll have spoken already. But, yeah, they were talking, and Zoom Truth is now on a campaign against me. So what he's doing is, he's like, he's calling me militant. And I'm wondering, what the heck is he doing? Why is he doing this? Why is he calling me militant? Militant is like somebody who will, I don't know. What is militant? Everybody kind of get in your mind what militant is. Do you think I'm militant? I'm out here showing love and teaching people the truth. And do you consider that to be militant? Well, I don't. But I think it's very interesting that that Zoom Truth seems to think I'm militant. When he's the one out getting tickets from the police. And he's the one lipping off to the police. And he's the one, and I told him to knock that off. So there's something definitely wrong there, and I have my own opinions about what's going on there. But I think you guys need to really consider what is going on there. Please consider what is happening there. Zoom Truth, I've worked with him for about 1.5 years, along with Fokker, Flat Earth Fokker, and Realm Walker. And in my last video on the subject, I addressed those 3. So, you have to understand, I think there's something wrong there. Now, the reason that they're attacking me, and I have been, Fokker not so much, he just decided to leave and go on to other things. And I already gave a warning out about that, to do not get distracted. Keep on Flat Earth, because we know that's the key. That is the key to every other thing that's going on. Just teach the Flat Earth. Everybody just stick with it. Teach the Flat Earth. And don't get distracted. And this is why they're going to attack me, because they know the key is the Flat Earth, and they're going to, they don't want people knowing it. That's my opinion. So you think, oh, but they're activists. They're out there doing it. They're out there teaching it. Really? They're not teaching it. They are not teaching Flat Earth. No matter what you say. You watch their videos. No. Really? What are they doing? Are they improving? Are they growing? Are they doing more? Are they doing better? You know, if you're out there just wanting to get entertained, then I don't have any time for you. If you just want entertainment, that's not where it's at. So, we're going to get the program going, and we're going to have Flat Earth teachers. You want to become a Flat Earth teacher? Then you got all of our support. So, so when Zoom Truth said to Howard that Marilyn's militant, Howard said, well, I think you got to be. And that kind of, you know, got Zoom a little hot under the collar, but even though he doesn't wear collars. So he told him a few things, and all of a sudden the live stream went dead. Well, you can believe whatever you want on that. You can believe that, oh, there was a lightning strike somewhere. You can believe that it was an accident. You can believe that whatever you want. As for me, I think it wasn't going his way, and he shut it down. So, Believe what you want. So, those are the two videos I think we need to keep in mind and address just from this week. Every week we try to address what happens during the week, and this is what's happened. So, you got to be aware, guys. I read the verse before that the guy who cleaned out his house from all the evil spirits, and when he returned, he didn't change his ways. So then 7 more evil spirits came that were worse than the first. So we've got to have guidelines or rules, whatever you want to call it. But I was always discouraged from having some kind of structure within the activism crowd, the teachers. So there has to be structure if we're going to grow. And this is why they don't want the structure. They don't want to have more people out there on the streets. I get criticized when I say hit the streets. I get criticized for saying that. Really? Why would they criticize that? I think everybody needs to be hitting the streets. Everybody. D-I-T-R-H, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. David Weiss, he was in the chat on Zoom Truth's live stream with Howard Stirp, and he was telling me that he's done more for Flat Earth than anybody, you know, really. Like, he put up this billboard, and I'm there, yeah, you advertised the conference. And then somebody else said, well, if you don't watch it, you know, you could be invited to speak at the conference. I said, no, that conference needs a complete overhaul. So if you take a look at the chat, read the chat, look at what was said, and I'm not falling for that crap anymore. Nope. From the very first conference in 2017 down in Raleigh, Carolina, North Carolina, I knew there was something absolutely wrong with this conference, American conference, because there was nothing about outreach. Nothing. It was all about the video celebrities. They wanted to set themselves up as leaders and have everybody just follow them online, not going out in the streets, not talking to other people. So, nah, there's something wrong there. I hope they come around and repent and turn away from their evil, wicked ways. You know, they're like the modern church. Bring them in, close the doors. But don't talk about outreach. See, that's what's happened to our churches. It used to be all about going out into the community, helping and caring for people and all that. And it's not that anymore at all. So, the thing is, the government has taken over with food stamps. But then the government doesn't tell them about the love of Jesus. So, it doesn't give them any hope. It just gives them money. Like money is their God. And it's easy to do. You find somebody desperate, they will just take the money and run and not consider their condition, the condition of their heart. So, yeah, it's tough, but, all right. I don't know. I think I should have something to drink here. I don't want another cup of coffee. I had a half a cup.
wonders if you would like one.
Sure.
Just sent the,
I was a
we just
little-
sent the girls down to be on both the
Oh.
wave signs.
Oh, that's a great
We
idea.
advertised all over the
I
place. We had
know.
people. I think it just wound up being too nice of a day.
It's a sign of the times, I think.
When there's a lot of other flea markets.
There's,
Well, I don't
yeah.
Everything else got rained
I
out
would
and it
bet-
rescheduled for today.
I would bet though
and
they're
now I
having the
think-
same thing here. That
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
usually
And
if the
everybody's
flea
a vendor
marketers are
somewhere
out,
and there's
they go
nobody
to
to shop.
all. So
Yeah. And I am not a cookie kind of person. But hot dog I would do.
Okay, well, we'll get you a hot dog.
You sure I can't give you something here?
If you want to donate, you can just put $1 or so in the
That's what I'll do.
thing for ASP for our trip. Thank you. There's the napkins here, too.
so what is that dripping on that I realized?
It's the roof, yeah.
Dripping on you?
Yeah, well, I just occasionally felt something go. Oop, oop.
It's a bird up there. Dirty bird.
Oh, I didn't bring the tongs out. I will be right back.
Okay.
Tongs might help.
Oh, there's my favorite kind.
There you go.
The tractor tires. Here, I'll give you another $1 and I'll take your tractor tire. It's the only kind I really would. I have that one. See, it looks like a tractor tire, doesn't
They
it?
do. I never thought of them that way. But
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
what I call them. I mean, what else do you call it? French cruller? Who knows
No.
that? I mean, nobody
Yeah,
knows
it's a
that.
tractor tire,
Yeah.
especially for kids. It's more fun that way.
I'm just a big kid.
Yeah, well, aren't we all?
That's it.
We all started there sometime, right?
Yep. I never left. You got that? Okay.
It's a fixin'
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that was not open. I won't
I don't
use
think you're gonna have to open whatever. Yeah.
They're all not open.
Yeah, we put them on for
Okay.
fresh for this. So open what you want.
Are they already getting people?
Are they really?
Imagine if we had pizza on the other side.
They would all
I
direct
want
over
to see
that
the
way.
look on his face.
We already determined that no one wants to see where they're at.
Did you know, no matter how high you go, the horizon is always at your eye level? In an airplane, top of Mount Everest, it's always up here because the horizon is a product of your perspective. So if there's 4 planes like in the hallway, it's the walls and the sky and the ceiling and the floor, it goes to a point, vanishing point. But in the case of a ocean, you only have 2 planes, the sky and the ocean. So it goes to a vanishing line. So any ships that go far in your distance, they will disappear in the vanishing line. That's why you think, and we've been told, it goes over a curve, but it doesn't. It just goes away from us. Also, the sun does the same thing. The sun is very close and small. It's not 93 million miles away, and it's not hot burning gases either. This is the flat Earth map. The North Pole's in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. And all these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. I don't think they want you to know it goes around the outside edge. Yeah. So here we have Chicago across 60 miles of Lake Michigan. That should be hidden under 2,400 feet of curvature. See, if it goes out, if you go out 60 miles, it should drop. But that's like a 240-story building. And yet, there it is, right in our plain sight. We zoomed in on it with a high-powered camera. You don't know. You can take this and think about it.
I just saw this the other day, and this is just weird.
Just pray about it, think about it, and say, just give me the truth. I want the truth. If you want the truth,
Yes, well, yes.
yeah, do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. See, I shouldn't say pray because people visiting here are not Christian, necessarily. But she was... See, all you have to do, folks, all you have to do is be wonderful. Be your sweet self. This is what I look like. Be your sweet self. This is my tractor tire. See this? These are my favorite. Can you see? Tractor tire. I like taking them apart. See? You take it apart. And you can peel it apart. It's like those cinnamon twirls. Those are good. You pull them apart. Did you ever hear about this? Did you know, no matter how high you go, the horizon is always at your eye level. It never goes down.
Okay.
Even in an airplane or on Mount Everest, it never goes down. It goes out. But that's because we don't live on a ball. It's actually a flat plane. And there's North Poles in the center. Antarctica goes all the way around the outside edge. And all these world organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica. I don't think they want you to know it goes around the outside edge. And there's 10 things on here you can look at and you can discuss with your honey and say, wow, that's something to think about.
Okay.
And there's a website there you can go and watch some videos about it.
Okay, a dinner table discussion.
That's
with the
right.
Children.
That's right.
The children too,
And you know
yes.
what? Even if you don't accept it, just studying it makes you smarter. Good questions for your kids. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, isn't that interesting? Thank you. Yep. The nose is running today. Well, that's a good thing. Means my sinuses are... I must have eaten something. Something that got into my head this week. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Something died, I guess.
yeah. Look her wingspan.
Yeah. They are not very pretty birds.
Wow.
Did you ever see them, like, up close?
Yeah,
They're pretty nasty looking.
yeah. They look so graceful in the sky.
Yeah. Well, they can stay up there. I gave him $1 anyway.